About to break this in several pieces. It'll be worth it. Might have your attention. The Creator saw us fit for another day, so it's work to do. Peace to my copper color kings and my copper color queens and all you other beings. Hope you and your loved ones are well. I go by the name of Kumba Ukwali, formerly known as A.D. Sanders. This is the Critical Think Podcast, Season 1, Episode 2, Part 1 of the Washington Copper Theory series. I was going to add an extra disclaimer, but
Money, power,
what you got for me? I want everything. Won't get shit from me, 'cause it's all for me. Mama called me greedy, bred with jealousy, taking all from you just so I can be. Ain't got room for yours, only room for mine.
Aborigines, which means what? Black folks. You never find a white aborigine. Rather, aborigines are called natives, or they're always dark-skinned people. You and I are aborigines, but you don't like to be called an aborigine. You want to be called an American.
before I begin, I just want to say thanks for viewing this content again. The purpose not to hit the brain too hard while you spend your time with me. My aim is to motivate my nation in a positive way. And when I say my nation, I'm talking about my copper nation, those mislabeled as the blacks, the African Americans, the niggers, my fellow Nijis. Feel free to comment if and how you like. I accept criticism and love all the same. Like, share, subscribe, click the bell so you know when I'm trying to reach you and grow this community while I'm on 8 platforms. Yeah, now walk with me. Now, on this icebreaker episode, I told you I was divinely led, so today I'm going to show you what that looked like. So I don't know why, but the Creator has touched my life twice that I have no other explanation for but to say it was divine. First time was in regard to my physical freedom at age 19. Like a human, I ended up turning away from the Creator in my 20s doing people's in their 20s things. Second time is now. And it's in regard to my mental freedom. The gap in between that is that hole that I told you about back on episode 1. You go listen to it if you missed it. But fast forward a little bit. I don't want to be no mental slave, no mental prisoner any longer. So I started asking questions to the Creator, like how we get how we are now. You know, asked the Creator, and he told me I had the wrong question. So I asked, how can I learn the origins of man? And the reply was observe. And that sent my mind to all kind of places, right? Observe. How's it going to teach me anything about the origin? So in a divinely led manner, I chose to focus on the word. Now, peep these thoughts. Now, just as the observations of the man-beasts of today lead to the innovations of tomorrow, had to be the same way in the beginning with all the other man-beasts in all the forms. So the early man-beasts, they learned how to follow the migrations of the animals, and they learned all these cycles of the plants and the seasons on the land, and the same was likely for the air, watching the birds and the fish, and right? That right there teaches me the importance of observations. So I'm guessing that's what the Creator was meaning by observe. If I want to know how we got where we are, that tells me it makes the eyeball more powerful than power or gold. You know, like if I'm not witnessing a lie or an illusion, it's safe to say that I can record truth. And then it can provide me guidance. And more importantly, I can look at something and think about it and ponder on it, observe on what I discovered or heard. Even though I didn't see it, I can visualize it, think about it. Now, with that said, how do we get where we are mentally today? Observation. And that creates a problem for a so-called leader today. So this is why I'm saying this. This is how they deal with it, which is how we got how we are. If you're a human, where I'm at, Turtle Island, the United States, wherever you want to call it, I'm shown far less than I'm told. But the things that I'm shown has a very small window. And then some of the things that I'm told are even less. So what do you call that? I call that sleep learning, like hypnosis, or first step in control, in my opinion, of like curbing critical thought, free thinking. So that's how you end up with individuals in the world that's both awoke and sleep at the same time. And just because you woke don't mean you're awake. If you disagree, let me ask you this question. What's the difference between nightmare and reality? Give up? No? You don't give up yet? I'm gonna let you think. What's the difference between nightmare and reality? All right, boom. Nightmares are real. Reality is a dream. Now, I want to share a vision from the Creator to explain what I meant. If you want, you can close your eyes, listen along. It ain't required, but I just want to talk right to your subconscious. You know what I mean? Like all up in your mind construct. You know what I mean? I just trying to get close to it as possible so you can see how I saw it. And I visualize this. It's like I began to hear myself breathing all deeply, right? My eyes was like slowly trying to crack open, like ever so slightly. I can see like little bits of light, like blurry figures, like moving about all quickly. I'm trying to understand, figure out what's going on, like thinking like where I'm at, like how I get here, like when I even go to sleep. So I'm all sluggardly trying to open my eyes again, my head swinging. I'm all dizzy. I can feel it. I can feel them touching me and whispering, low voices like, relax, go back to sleep. It ain't time to wake up yet. And voice sounded all elastic and low pitch like a man voice or something like that. But my voice, my breathing gets all restricted. And then all of a sudden, it's like 50,000 jolts hit me. And it's like I take this deep ass breath, like for like 15 minutes, it seemed like. But I'm taking in this air, and I just hear just like the prettiest, sweetest voice I ever heard in my ever. Like, and it sounded like nothing I ever heard on this earth, though. And she was like, "Open your eyes, wake up. It's time to open your eyes and see. Open your eyes and see for yourself, my child. And when you see, deliver it back to the many, what you've witnessed, backward wickedness." Then all of a sudden I get this impact like I just fell from like, I don't know, 100 feet up on some stone. My eyes just open up real quick and everything all clear. I ain't dizzy no more. I'm in a cave now. It's like a forever hallway over here to the left. And like just as long as the hallway is like these stacks of tablets. So, I come back to them, center of the room. It's like a desk or a ledge or whatever. And it's like two men, two figures there. And it's like one dead on the ground, melon, peeled back, blood everywhere. And the other one just at the table, just pink, 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 pink. Hacking away with a stake and a hammer, pink, pink. I could see blood flying all everywhere, and the stakes on the floor, some broke, some tablets on the floor broke, blood all over him. He just going at it, pink, 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 pink. All of a sudden, he just stopped and said, "Now, history is complete." Turns up, he got the tablet in his hand. He turned around, he ain't got no face. And right where his eyes supposed to be, I see it's like HIS in Brandon. like horse branding on his face. And he just came right at me. And I'm like, yo, I just woke up from there. It's crazy. And it's true. Yeah. But if you had your eyes closed, open them up. Now I'm sitting there on the side of the bed wondering how I get in my bed. You know? And wondering how I get here in my bed. When I get past that moment, I just frantically started forensically researching. I'm all on the internet. I just got to Earth. I want to know everything it was to know about whatever. So I decided to start with the word history, etymology, at its root. The word his was pretty easy, but story, that was interesting. The thought processes that arose from the word history and the vision, that man took me on an incredible journey that and it was pretty. Check this out. It's like the root word of history is a Latin word, as story, and then they mix it with this old English word story, and it becomes history in the Western language that we use as in an account of, denoting a historical event or account or representation. And then it's the word story with a similar meaning, as in account of, denotes a historical event, account of, representation. May not be real. It can be made up, an adventure, a fantasy, some type of written desire. But it also has another meaning. The word story is like the keeping of things in one area completely until you add something else on it, and something else, and another one, and another one. You know, so I'm like, yo, it's time to put on them thinking caps. Let's think about this. If something, an event took place, somebody can give an account of it. They can represent the whole event, the truth, or they can represent or tell only the parts that touch them the most. They can omit a part or distort or lie or misrepresent an event or situation or change the information if the information they changing would tip outcomes in favor that they would like an election or administrative cover-up, colonizing of a people. Then they repeat it over and over and over and over again, then they forget about it, but they still call it facts. But by definition, that definition, a fact is not the truth. Yeah. It can sometimes be an intentional lie, in fact. And they change depending on the story or the level. Now, I've been told over and over America was built. But like how? Like with hard work and grit type built, or like a building that's compromised of different stories, where the information is represented differently depending on the level as you build up. Now let's take a look at a corporate building. My bad. Let's look at a corporate building. What information is in the basement? What can you learn? Where to park? Where you can't park? For how long? Let's go up to the ground level. What information is there? The receptionist or security officer, what they know about what goes on in the operation of this country. I mean, at that company. Nothing other than who to get info from, where I can and cannot go. And even with access in the building as I go up, I can still only go to specific floors and see specific people, usually a mid-level worker or one of them cats who finally report to the upper floors or the stories in the building to get their allotted information that they can then disperse at lower levels, you know. Or sometimes they got to sit in on meetings because the facts changed and the people with all the real data or the raw data making or about to make some decisions again that's going to govern the rest of the country. I mean, company. All right, let's wake up. Is that or is that not America? I believe so. I used to be a cleaner at those corporate buildings several times. Time to time, people leave paper in places they shouldn't leave it, like a bathroom stall or just pinned to the wall. Like the cleaners don't know nothing. Like, hell, they barely speak English. Yeah, but I can. I didn't see any information in data control. Excuse me. I done signed non-competes and disclosures and whatnot just to clean carpets and toilets and take out trash. Get fingerprint. What? This must be tripping. But I'm doing all of this, fingerprinting, watching all of these 45-minute long videos again, just to clean carpets, take out trash, clean toilets. That make me wonder, what did that secretary and that security guard have to go through to get to 12, 16, 18 hours an hour? You know? I don't know. But it's just crazy. You gotta go through all that for nothing. What are they hiding in this building? All right? Somewhere above ground level, I'm gonna tell y'all a story. I found a document in the bathroom. It said company trends, right? That was the name. That was the information on the document. Company trends, right? Said layoffs not imminent. Great job. Now, a few floors up in the same building, I find a different document, same topic, company trends. This is what this document said. It was like, this is unacceptable. Yes, we are trending up from last year, but other matrix not met. We need to make cuts likely on the lower floors. Get the preliminary packages ready by 4, please. This comes from the guys upstairs, not me, okay? We'll talk later. Like, I've also worked in those corporate buildings where they was handing out those packages, those offer packages. Yeah. America was built, right? That make me wonder what they got going on in the Bank of America building. I used to clean there too. Ladies and gents, we have been bamboozled. Let me tell you how. Through conceptualism, the constant nonstop depictions of whatever it is that's needed to pull you emotionally or suppress you mentally. Then they stir you up economically, whatever they want to do to you, divide you socially, keep you quarrelsome with your loved ones. And then you got these political truths. You ever heard of a political truth? I'm borrowing one of them for this explanation from Neil D. Tyson, right? This is where I got that word from, political truth. That's a real certified smart dude. He's pretty cool. You want to check him out. He's a Kopper brother, too, on top of that. He told me in a book that a political truth is a statement repeated over and over and over again, most likely unchecked. And then one day, all of a sudden, it's like it's a well-known fact, like it's a truth, like a outright undeniable, because you heard it over and over and over and over and over again so many times. Like the story of the black man. Huh? You done heard that story over and over and over and over again. The story of where the black people come from, right? All right. In my view, he who decided to become the aggressor and colonize the world thought that once he was successful at it, all that happened before he did that no longer happened, and that the new writings of history or the accountings of the events after was at their personal will and choosing and their approving. But in the end, truth never dies. And remember, what's done in the dark comes to the light. Wake up. Let's shine a little bit of light. A little bit. So the events of time broken down into eras or periods. We're talking about written, painted, carving. Going backwards from now, you have modern history that covers today back to when the Europeans started exploring and colonizing the world, about 1400. These are the people that rewrote and dismantled the truth of everything that happened prior to that. Replaced it with several lies. They even said it themselves. When they got wherever they was going, they destroyed, they looted, they plundered. I mean, shit. They had no clue that sciences that are here today would be here to disprove things or prove things. Real scientific discovery is pretty great. Now, going back from that, you got prehistory. This covers from about 1400 back to, let's see, Mesopotamia fine, right? About 8,000 BC. They can't touch most of this stuff because they haven't found a lot of it yet, or it's being discovered today, or it was recently discovered. So going back from that, and lastly, you have what I call ancient times. This began around the Younger Dryas era, around 12,000 years ago, back to the beginning of it all. Or anything older than 12,000 years ago needs science to prove that it was even here, right? The main reason for that is because during this specific 12,000 year ago period, 30 to 60% of the human population disappeared. I'm going to let you know why in a minute or on a later episode. But it's because of a large population of today's people don't know about that disappearance of people, and that information that's missing. About 75% of what we know as history is a political truth. It's going unchecked over and over, unrepeated, right? And that's how history is able to dance around in a nice suit, basically. You know what I mean? And for lack of better words, but my beautiful people, I just find that, history is just untrue over and over and over and over and over and over again. They erase it and then they erase it again. Specifically in the places where the copper colored people of the world are. They want to tell you it's about race, but that's not even what it's about. It's about gain, obstruction, destruction, God. In God they trust, they say. But they call it economics and religion. But they seem to only highlight the lowest of them, which are the races. So that's who we seem to focus on throughout history, instead of the people who was doing the real damage. We can be told whatever we want without the correct information. So therefore, the information that I'm pulling comes from up there. So, I literally denounce any labels and anything placed upon me by this governments or whatever. My history is what I say it is. I'm a citizen of this world, likely through bloodlines of Turtle Island, just like my fathers, my mothers, my aunts, my uncles, my cousins that came before me. Just like them folks that came from over there, proud of their lands from where they bloomed from, so am I. And I don't appreciate them telling me and everybody else that we came from wherever they felt like telling us we came from. So moving forward, I'm going to just be laying out this complete theory. This was a vision of what made me go and dig up this theory. I got to call it a theory legally, but for now, you know, Kumba Yukwali, about to be out the door. I'm still broken. I just want y'all to be critical when y'all think.
What you got for me? I want everything. Won't get shit from me, 'cause it's all for me. Mama called me greedy, bred with jealousy, taking all from you just so I can be. Ain't got room for yours, only room for mine. If you give too much, then it's time to die. You the peasant type, I live that royal life, sitting on my throne, golden diamonds on. Got the world in my palm while I reach for the stars. Got my feet on the moon while I'm puffing on Mars. Damn, where they do that at? Right? I'm in America, how can I forget? Home of the brave with the scars of the slave. Home of Trayvon and the KKK. If you ain't got money, then you ain't about nothing. Tell them you got God, they say you got nothing. Steam behind your back, smiling your face frontin'. That's just the politicians, I ain't even on the judges. The judges? Fuck it, I'm living in the snake pit, hoping I don't get bit. Getting bombarded with the money power, 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 money power. What you got for me? I want everything. Won't get shit from me, 'cause it's all for me. Mama called me greedy, bred with jealousy, taking all from you just so I can be. Ain't got room for yours, only room for mine. If you give too much, then it's time to die. You the peasant type, I live that royal life, sitting on my throne, golden diamonds on. Got the world in my palm while I reach for the stars. Got my feet on the moon while I'm puffing on Mars.